Peace, brothers and sisters out there. I hope all you guys are having a great day. I just wanted to do my in-depth review on J. Cole's second album, Born Sinner. I wanted to touch on the album covers first. He has the deluxe edition as well as the standard edition, which we see right here. But when it comes to the deluxe edition, the album cover there is supposed to represent, a young kid or a baby being born into the matrix when it comes to the devil horns on the kid. So that's supposed to represent being, born a sinner. But you see the crown on the kid, which is supposed to represent the prognosis of Cole, because he will be esteemed as a king in this world, this Luciferian world we live in, where he's worshipped because he's an idol. So that's supposed to represent Cole in regards to the prognosis of young Cole. He would sign himself over to the craft. Therefore, he will be worshipped by the people, by the masses. And he would worship the goat, which represents the horns. And for the standard album cover, it's supposed to represent Proverbs 24 and 16, because the seven stripes is supposed to represent that scripture when you read the scripture in Proverbs 24 and 16. So let's get it. So it says here in Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 16, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So when it says, but the wicked shall fall into mischief, that's going into the background color, which is black. And we know black represents mischief or wickedness, which is why they wear all black, because they're witches, and they wear all black for Saturn. So that's what that's supposed to represent when you look at the album cover for the standard edition. All right, brothers and sisters, so we're going to get into the album now. So starting off with track 1, Voluminati, J. Cole is giving you the understanding of his introduction into the craft when it comes to the music industry. It's just a play on the Illuminati, his upbringing and how it connects with, the quote unquote upper level understanding of the Illuminati. You feel what I'm saying? Embracing that dark path, which is the left hand energy, illumination, and giving the understanding that he signed himself over to the craft. When he goes into saying, he's about to go and join Illuminati and fuck everybody. And also how Beyonce asked him if he was going to cop the new Bugatti and how he couldn't afford it and so on and so forth. Just giving you the understanding that there's different levels in this craft. And if you want to reach a certain level of acclaim or attain that gold, then you have to do certain things in order for you to reach that. So that's what that's going into in regards to the intro. And there's a reason why he says things like, what he says at, I think in the beginning, he was like, if you want to get fucked in the ass, that's between you and whoever else's dick it is. Just giving you the understanding of the obscene things that goes on in the entertainment industry behind the scenes. And this draws a lot of parallels to Kendrick Lamar's album, because To Pimp a Butterfly is also detailing the entertainment industry and the vices, as well as getting caught up in sin and how you get engulfed in it based off of you signing yourself over, as well as you being pimped and used because of, you being commodity, you being value, so on and so forth. So in track 2, you have the Kearney Sermon skit. So let's go track 2. Let's go over it. So track 2 is basically going in to the understanding that the serpent, is giving you a proposal. When it comes to J. Cole, the serpent is giving J. Cole a proposal. And the infomercial skit is giving that kind of energy. And that's why Cole says on the song in Voluminati, he's watching TV and just basically saying how the devil wants him or something like that. And he's like, please give me my soul. I ain't never letting you go again, so on and so forth. And the Kearney Sermon skit, he goes into saying how you have been suffering for 18 years. Now we know the number 18 goes into 666. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. 6 times 3. So that's giving you that type of undertone. You feel what I'm saying when it comes to the Luciferian connotation. And that's why you got songs like Forbidden Fruit, because this is giving you that serpent energy. That's why it goes into the Land of the Snakes in the next track. So let's go into the Land of the Snakes. Produced by Cole, of course. The majority of these tracks are produced by Cole. And in the Land of the Snakes is just going into degeneracy, wine and revelry. as well as embracing lust, giving you that type of connotation, and being impressed by the serpent, land of the snakes. You feel what I'm saying? The industry is full of serpents. And this, like I said, it draws a lot of parallels to Pimp a Butterfly. You feel what I'm saying? In which temptation is heightened in regards to the conveyance from Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole in their respective albums. You feel what I'm saying? They may have been twin, just like with Biggie and Pac. And Biggie, the sample on Voluminati, he goes into Born Sinner, the opposite of a winner. And on that song Juicy, there could be a form of predictive programming in the lyrics. Now, we know in 1993 there was an underground bombing for the World Trade Center, but 8 years later, the major event happened, and that could have been a form of predictive programming. It could have been twofold. You feel what I'm saying? And we understand, or at least some of you guys understand, the dynamic between Tupac and Biggie and how it draws a lot of parallels in regards to the esoteric understanding of how they could have been twinned. You feel what I'm saying? So just going more into the album, not to digress, excuse me. On Land of the Snakes, let's continue more on Land of the Snakes. On Land of the Snakes, at the end of the song, Cole goes into how he had met a girl in college and he wanted to have sex with her, and that's all that he wanted to do. And she felt objectified. She called him misogynist because that's all he wanted to do was hit. And it goes to show you that dynamic, in conventional society where the woman is not necessarily held accountable for her actions in regards to her making that decision to open her legs. Even though you can look at Cole and vilify him based off of him having that ulterior motive or him just wanting to just do that. But at the end of the day, just in general terms, in reality, if we understand that this is what we want to do in regards to both parties, then there shouldn't be a problem. There shouldn't be any sort of expectations. And I'm just saying that personally. But in regards to what he's trying to convey here, just giving you the dynamic of, man not wanting to settle down, man not wanting to embrace the nuclear foundation of a family and so on and so forth, which is why he goes into Power Trip, utilizing his power for bad, which draws parallels to Kendrick Lamar's album, To Pimp a Butterfly, on the song These Walls, And on that song, These Walls, Kendrick Lamar goes into how he had sex with a man. Well, he had sex with a woman that was with a man that killed his friend while he was locked up. And that is known as adultery. And he just basically giving you the understanding based off of, the moral understanding, like the moral undertone of the track is just basically how karma can come to you based off of you wanting to be vengeful. You feel what I'm saying? That's why the Most High tells us to forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Because at the end of the day, vengefulness and wanting to be, wanting to retaliate in regards to something that was done to you in a negative fashion, it's only going to lead to karma coming your way in a negative fashion. So it's always important for us to understand how to forgive. And Kendrick Lamar used his power for bad by having sex with a woman, knowing that he can influence her because he was rich and famous, and her man was locked up. The same man that killed Kendrick Lamar's homie. So that was vengeance on that part, as well as the pleasure. You feel what I'm saying? That's just going into this whole theme around being a born sinner. And I'm just using Kendrick's album because there's parallels. You feel what I'm saying? And also on Power Trip, it goes in context with track 3, Land of the Snakes, and the continuance of understanding that, he used his power in the eyes of the woman to have sex with her, and she felt powerless because she wanted to commit, but he didn't want to commit. You feel what I'm saying? So he was on a Power Trip. And after Power Trip, you got Mo Money. Power Trip featuring Miguel. You got Mo Money produced by Jake One. And Mo Money is basically an interlude, a little interlude terse, just going into the understanding of how any exchange of money, 9 times out of 10, is going to be evil. And based off of how pervasive this society is when it comes to the impact of the monetary system, whether it be, in gold or understanding, the currency as far as the printing money, it's all based off of evil. with this credit-based system that we live in. And just talking in general terms, whether you getting prostitute money, side hoe money, drug money, that's pervasive in this society. The positive aspects of getting money is not. You feel what I'm saying? And Cole is just giving you those vices, those certain vices in which we get caught up, which are revolved around money, you know? And it goes in conjunction with the theme of the album. Having money, the love of it is the root of all evil. So going into track number 6, Trouble. And basically, like I said, it's kind of like following that same theme, because when you embrace these things, it can lead you into harm. It can lead you into trouble. It can be bad karma for you. You feel what I'm saying? So Trouble is giving you that understanding of how the love of money can turn into trouble. And when you embrace wickedness in regards to the way you make money, when it comes to you being in the craft, you in the music industry, or you selling drugs or anything, you're bound to go through it. You feel what I'm saying? You're bound to go through it. When you embrace lust, when you're into things that's based in degeneracy and iniquity, wickedness, so on and so forth, lasciviousness, you're bound to go through trouble. So after this track, you have Runaway. And Runaway, you have the Mike Epps skit. It's a very, very great track. I love the drum patterns. I love the vibe of the song. And it's a great track in how it goes into the understanding of not just running away in regards to the understanding of how he's conveying it, not just running away from that nuclear foundation or that nuclear household wanting to settle down with a woman, but also running away from your moral code, from righteousness. You feel what I'm saying? So this is twofold, just giving you that understanding that, you're running away from God, and you're also running away from the woman that holds you down, the woman that calms you down in regards to your home, that foundation, that down woman that can lift you up in your spirits and so on and so forth. Not these chicks that's out here that's concubines, but a real wife material woman. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, also giving you the understanding of you running away from your moral code, which is the Most High and righteousness. You feel what I'm saying? Also, he goes into the 3/5 doctrine, as well as the colorism, and that's all falsehood in regards to him speaking about that. I believe that's in the 3rd verse. You know what I mean? With the whole white man breeding with the black female slaves, that's all based in narrative. But for the most part, it is relevant. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's a great track, and it goes into the theme of this album, Born Sinner, because Cole is letting you know that he's continuing to indulge in things that are contrary to what's moral and what's right. You feel what I'm saying? So you have She Knows, featuring Amber Kaufman and Coates. And She Knows just going into how his lady understands that he can't be what she wants him to be. He can't live up to the standard of what she wants. And he comes to grip with that understanding. And that's why it goes into rich niggas, because rich niggas is supposed to give you the contrary aspect of, the foundation, settling down, being moral. That's why he battles himself on rich niggas. And the reason why I say he battles himself, because he had an interview where he was speaking on, the creation of rich niggas and how it's based in these ironies. You feel what I'm saying? These ironies of his resentment towards rich people. But the irony of it all is because it's based in the fact that now he's rich. So he looks at himself like, okay, now I'm on that side, because I used to look at these affluent people, or these people who were more than as opposed to the less than, and I used to shun them. I used to have a great disdain for them, because when we live in this world where you have different levels and different tiers of people, when it comes to economics and commerce and so on and so forth, you understand that you at a certain playing field based off of whatever bracket you in, based off of whatever, decisions you made in your life when it comes to positive or negative. And Cole is just giving you that understanding based off of him resenting himself, because he understands that he made a decision that's against his moral code of compass, moral code of conduct. And that's going into rich niggas, you know what I mean? Basically him having resentment towards himself, right? So now you have where's Jermaine? So he's gone now. You feel what I'm saying? Where's Jermaine's skit? Obviously, this is going into the whole church thing where he was in church and he left because he was with his girl. You feel what I'm saying? He went to the quote unquote garden with his girl. But this is twofold here. This is twofold. This is supposed to give you the understanding of how basically, when Adam had disobeyed the Heavenly Father in regards to the Heavenly Father telling him and Eve to be fruitful and multiply, and sin would not enter into this world if they were to do so. But they did things contrary to that. And Most High told them not to, quote unquote, eat the fruit of the tree, meaning to receive the knowledge of the serpent, receive the teachings of the serpent. That's why when you listen to the track, Forbidden Fruit, in regards to, I think, what sample is it? Electric Relaxation, that sample from Tribe Called Quest. You listen to this track, and the reason why it's important for us to understand this track is because J. Cole is basically saying that he's proverbial Eve. You know what I mean? He's giving you the understanding of how the church system is perceived in regards to the people thinking that it's righteous. That's why you have this whole theme with the church system, and I forget the lyrics in it, but let's just play. Let's see if we can play some of it. So you hear the gospel theme, and just giving you some truth. When it comes to the church system, it's incorrect. It's not based in any truth. So this is based off of conventional wisdom, but the connotation is supposed to give you that righteous understanding. Like, I came to this righteous understanding. I'm supposed to be following God because I'm in church. So I feel like I'm righteous. That's what that's supposed to give off. But when you listen, in context with the next track, it's like Cole is getting away from that. And that's what Adam did. He got away from the Heavenly Father. You feel what I'm saying? He went off. And that's why Cole says that Eve had Adam in check, because what? He put her on a pedestal. You feel me? He put Eve on a pedestal, and that was his fall. If Adam would have chastised Eve, we would not be living in this situation today. And that's just the honest truth. We would not be living in this society in regards to the wickedness that's pervaded in society. We would not be seeing it like this today. Everything would be all peaceful and grand and great. You know what I mean? But it's not because of what Adam and Eve did. You know what I mean? And it's important for us to understand. Cole also starts the verse off with, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because that's giving you the understanding that Adam and Eve opened the door for sin, which in turn leads us to death, being damned, So that was just, I guess, my coverage of both track 10 and track 11. So going into Chaining Day is basically revolved around the understanding that as high as you get in the industry, the more acclaim you receive. And Chaining Day is a day where you get your Jesus piece. Now we know that the Jesus piece is supposed to represent Horus. Horus is a representation of enlightenment, the eye of Horus, the eye of providence, enlightenment. You feel what I'm saying? Or Osiris. Horus is just reincarnated Osiris. So that's supposed to represent that. That's going into enlightenment. When you reach a certain level in the entertainment industry and you get your Jesus piece, you have been enlightened. You have been taught more of an understanding of the craft, the pagan ideologies, and so on and so forth. So track 13, Ain't That Some Shit? Ain't That Some Shit interlude. Cole was real boastful about his acclaim and, about the money that he gets. And the song is a great song, He starts off with, okay, I lied, because at the end of the song, he's saying, at the end of Chaining Day, he's saying, what do he say at the end of the song? He's saying, I need you to love me. I need you to love me. Basically asking Satan for his approval. I need Satan to love me. You feel what I'm saying? And that's a part of the understanding of how it connects with Chaining Day. Now, people would say, oh, no, it's talking about God. No, it's not talking about that. This whole album is revolved around him understanding that he's a sinner. So this whole theme is revolved around things contrary to the Most High. These songs going into lust and covetousness and so on and so forth. You feel what I'm saying? So let's continue on. And yeah, we was at Crooked Smile because I covered some ain't that some shit. And on Ain't That Some Shit, I like the flow on there. Like he has just ludicrous kind of flow. You feel what I'm saying? Where he drags out certain words and he does it in an animated fashion. Like he was like, I think he said something like G's and the E's. Like that was fire how he did that. And Cole was real witty with it. You know what I mean? Cole is top 10. I would say top 10 all time. Top 10, top 15. Like Cole is like the KD of hip hop. Cole is like the KD of hip hop. So yeah, we on Crooked Smile. Crooked Smile is a great track. Basically speaks to insecurities and standing on your insecurities, finding a way to turn that into negative. You know what I mean? As far, I mean, not a negative, finding that negative and turning it into a positive. And it also goes into the understanding of how the woman, in general, she's naturally insecure because we live in a world where it's the norm for them to wear makeup. It's the norm for them to wear form-fitting outfits. They have been so impressed by the serpent that it's normalized that they wear what they wear. If they was dressing like this in the ancient times, they fucking probably be stoned. And I'm being dead ass serious. I'm not trying to be misogynistic or anything like that. The woman does not understand her role, man. They just don't. And I'm not being disrespectful. They just don't understand their role because they're impressionable. They go off of what the TV tells them. You feel what I'm saying? That's why, they lead with their body parts. And that's what this is going into in regards to Crooked Smile. These females and people in general, but mostly females, they're insecure. They're insecure by nature. That's why they wear tight pants and they wear provocative clothes and so on and so forth. Back in the ancient times, she wore that shit, she would be deemed a slut, man, because they couldn't dress provocative. They couldn't wear stuff like that. They wore things that was based in dressing modestly and humbly, because that's how you carried yourself as a woman. You carry a certain sort with you. That made it known that this woman, she should be looked at with a certain level of reverence and respect because she carried herself as such. She respects herself. She ain't walking around just showing her ass off because she understands that those things are precious to her and they should be precious to her and her man only, not for everybody to see. But in this world, in Babylon, everything fucking goes. But not to get off track, you know what I mean? That's just me in the spirit. It's important for us to understand. And it's a great song and how it connects also with the song on To Pimp a Butterfly, Complexion, where Kendrick Lamar is basically giving you the understanding of how we should embrace our imperfections and what makes us, what builds our character, being able to embrace your flaws. That gives you character. You feel what I'm saying? So Let Nas Down. Let Nas Down is adding to the overall theme of the album because it's going into idolatry, which is the worst sin. And it's a reason why it's the second to last track, just letting you know that this song is the overall theme of why man falls. Idolatry. You know what I mean? Idolatry. Adam idolized Eve. We live in a world where these celebrities, they put on a pedestal, they're idolized. You know what I mean? That's why it says Born Sinner. That's why the album is called Born Sinner. He goes on to say that Nas was like Jesus and Pac wrote the Bible, giving off that idolatrous theme. He talks about how he was let down from Nas because Nas heard a song. I think it was one of his first songs that he made. It's called Workout. Give you the understanding of that formulaic outcome in which, you have to pretty much follow the guidelines of, how songs are done in regards to making them pop. When you have certain artists who are freshmen and you need a certain song for them to pop. And that's the formulaic outcome. And that's what Cole goes into on the song. And just to further go into Let Nas Down, like I said, it's going into idolatry to where Cole put Nas on a pedestal and he felt like, his heart broke because his idol was let down based off of a song that he heard. And it goes with the theme of the album. It's revolved around that in regards to understanding that that's sinful. You know what I mean? That's sinful when you embrace the spirit of idolatry and you put someone on a pedestal. And that's why Adam fell. That's why, most of our forefathers in regards to the people that went off, they fell because they went into idolatry. They put other things on a pedestal and they made them as their gods. And it don't even have to be a human being. You could put food on a pedestal. That could be your god. Money, so on and so forth, material things. So it's all revolved around the understanding in regards to this album that, these are the ways in which you can be engulfed in sin, and it can overtake you to the point where you can't come back to the Heavenly Father. Because we know that idolatry is the worst sin, as I stated. So it's important for us to understand context. And in these last days, when we listen to these songs, when we see what we see in regards to the music industry, the entertainment industry, when we look at it on TV or the internet, so on and so forth, we should be able to have a keen eye and a keen ear as well. So I just want to thank y'all for continuing to support the channel, for your subscriptions. God bless you all. Peace. Shalom.